Hello?
Hello, can
Is
you...
that Mr. Murphy?
I am Paul Murphy of West Camel. Yes, please bear with me. I have neurological disorder.
Yes, so my name's Mandy. I'm calling from Devon and Somerset Fire Service to try and arrange a home safety visit.
Oh, Mandy, you're so kind.
But I've made lots of phone calls, so I can't remember what your address is to find you again on the system.
My address is
Are you able to give me your postcode, please?
BA
Yes.
22
BA22
7 Queen.
7QQ.
Yes, madam, yes.
And what number are you?
Number 1.
Number 1. Bear with me a moment.
I'm sorry if you've got the phone signal here is atrocious. And of course people think they've left you a message, but in the same way the call never comes through, the message is just indiscernible. You know, you get crackle, or it's like listening to the Times crossword. You know, every fourth or fifth word is missing. Awful thing. We're stuck in this valley, you see. Sometimes we can't even get emergency calls. Here, when I could still walk, there was a day when my wife kidnapped my children. This must have been 2020. Okay. And I tried to dial 999. This is just an anecdote. And I couldn't get a signal through. It kept cutting out and everything. This is the police. And then they kept calling back and they couldn't hear me. And I had to get in the car and drive like a lunatic into Yeovil to try and get a signal. And as I got to Mudford, I saw a police car steaming past, and of course it was coming to my house. So I got to Yeovil. So this is just an anecdote. But like mobile phone numbers sometimes leave a residue number, as in this instance. Landlines are just, but it doesn't matter. I mean, no one calls me, and you're the first human being I've spoken to, and I don't know how long.
Oh, gosh.
Who has got you to call me, if one might inquire?
I think some of my colleagues have been out to see you in the past, but we've had a referral from your, is it occupational therapist?
Well,
Sam Edwards?
No, I don't know any of those names.
Okay.
What I can tell you...
It might have been the ambulance service some time back that asked us to call you just to arrange a free home safety visit.
It's a shame they don't come around. I've been left here. They know I can't walk. They know I can't feed myself. They know I can't get my medication. They've just left me here to die in the hope that I will die from a head injury, so that they're not. I came out of hospital, madam, and they said, we're not going to let you out of the hospital, Paul, until I've been waiting since February my home care was authorised. And they said, we're not going to let you home because obviously you're not going to survive many more of these head injuries or blackouts. No. And I said, so they said the nurses will come around twice a day until the home care starts. 9 days they lasted, and then they just stopped coming. The last day they were here, the reason this is a kind of this is nothing against your good self, madam. This is a benign anecdote why I sort of chuckled sort of sardonically the last day. This is NHS nurses that came out on the Friday, the 14th of August, which is the last time I had a hot drink or my urine bottle's empty. Well, the Amazon doesn't want, but the nurse refused to empty my commode, which, because I can only live on the sofa, is 3 feet from my nose. He didn't take the urine bottles away. They lost my medicines. I haven't had any heart medicine since the first week of August. And the food he gave me, I videoed it. I'm hoping to live long enough to get it on YouTube. Was a yogurt that went out of date on the 16th of June. So this is the NHS. No, they know I have diverticulitis. My intestines have all rotted away because I can't feed myself properly. The muscles don't work, you see, so anything that goes in doesn't. I don't want to put you off your dinner, it rots in there. They were going to put a tube in me, but I'm so close to heaven now. The doctor said no, it would. I think the procedure would do you more harm than good at this stage. Now, where I'm going with this boring story is the reason why I asked was it's a bit strange that people are. Someone somewhere is exhibiting some concern about me having an accident when they're feeding a man with diverticular disease 2 months out of date food and stopping coming round and providing his medicine. And I mean, what kind of accident? I'm basically a human slug. I mean, I do fear for fires, I've got to be honest. They left 3 bags of food here. They know, I mean, how did I was supposed to be getting food parcels from the Red Cross, but they never turned up. No one likes a Jew, even the charities. The village agents came around, they brought 3 bags of food around, but of course, I can't eat it. You know, I can only eat yogurts or soups. I can't. They brought around spaghetti and I won't bore you, but here again, I just mentioned this. It may be of use to you in your wider scheme of things, because whoever makes these referrals to you, my first question back to them after hearing this would be, well, what are you doing to keep Mr. Murphy safe in whatever your position might be? And, I mean, I'd love to know who Sam Edwards is, and I'd love to know why she's not calling to ask if I'm getting fed or getting my medication or anything. There's more chance of me having a heart attack through not being given my heart medication for I don't know what the date is, but it must be coming up to 2 months now. There's more chance of me having a heart attack than there is of me falling down the stairs. But where I was going, and I'll only be another 20 seconds, I promise. So I couldn't eat. They brought this food in and they left it on the kitchen floor, 3 bags of it. And never did they come back again. Well, she took half of it on with her, so I mean, she did better at the deal than I did. I said, well, I am a vegetarian. B, my hands don't work. I can't open a tin. And see, I couldn't swallow spaghetti or cheese, because I have just, my throat doesn't work. I choke, And so she's some stuff that she wanted. Well, if you don't want the coffee, she said, I'll take it, because I can't use the kettle. I keep scolding myself. You see, I'm not strong enough. For a hot drink, Mandy, for a hot drink. I'm so sorry. We need to be quick here. Anyway, they left the 3 bags of the groceries on the floor of the kitchen. And then the nurses came out that night. And I can hear them going, who's left all this bags of groceries on the floor here? Oh, it says village agents on the label. Oh, they've just left it there. But the point of this story is they left it there as well. Now, the front door is blocked up because well, actually, it's a lie, because a solicitor came round 2 weeks ago. I had to make my will out, and all my mail was stacked up since April. You couldn't get out the front door. You couldn't get out it now because he's had to put a box there. But where I'm going with this, and it may be pertinent, I'll come to the point in just a second, where they just left, even though they moaned about the groceries being on the floor, they just left them there. So they know at that point I was using my commode as a wheelchair because I hadn't provided the wheelchair, but I no longer have enough strength to move myself around in a commode. So they knew the front door didn't work, and they now knew that the only exit that I stood a chance of getting out of, if the electrics fused or something like that, because there's leaking water in there. We're not in the house, but was out the back door, which was blocked by groceries I couldn't steer the wheelchair past. Where I'm going with this, say, no, what happened, madam, was I had to order some B12 off of Amazon. Oh, he was a lovely fellow. He's a true hero, and the Amazon driver. You're talking the 2nd of August now. And there's a note on the door that says, I'm disabled. Please, if you have an appointment, come in and announce yourself, which is what your chaps must do, chaps and chapesses. And if you don't have an appointment, please text this number. Don't ring it because it won't signal bad, but text. And there was a lot of stuff piled up outside the back door. That cats or something or another had knocked the bin over and everything. So this lovely fellow came in. I can't do his accent. And he came on through. And I was in quite a bad shape there. All the nurses had gone and just left me there and everything. And I was really having trouble breathing. Anyway, he lifted me up. He was such a kind chap, and he helped me up. He took my urine bottles out and replaced. I have to wee in empty milk bottles, you see, plastic milk bottles. And they were all just stacked up, stinking. That was awful. How I haven't choked on. Well, luckily, you don't want to eat. The nurse said to me, why don't you eat? Well, because it has to come out, Yeah. And who's going to eat it? They said, well, we've given you a commode. But I can't empty it. I think they're insane sometimes, man. If I could get to the bathroom to pour the effluents from the commode away, I would not need a commode in the first place,
Yeah.
I found out later he just put the, well, then again, but he was so, anyway, the gist of the story is, and I said, look, I don't have any, because I've been robbed terribly. There was this woman from a charity organisation was coming round, this is a year ago now, and her boyfriend, and they were robbing me blind. Oh, thousands upon thousands, and all my savings were gone, and they were so-called going to sell things to raise money for my children who are homeless up in Peterborough. And they were just waiting for me to die. They literally, I remember one, I think it was the February this year, and they came around. I texted them, I said, look, please, I'm really hungry, could you bring me some biscuits? I was putting biscuits into hot tea to sort of make a biscuit soup for the sugar rush and everything. And he came round, and I can see him now, the boyfriend, and he threw this packet of biscuits on the dining room table in front of me. And I've seen them in Tesco's before, 60 pence. They are one of those multi-packs. And then he threw a pack of tea bags down. Will you make me a cup of tea? And then he just turned on his heels, went to my wallet, which is on a unit up above, took a £20 note out, the most expensive packet of biscuits ever. And then his partner, the charity worker, came in. Look look at this. And my children were going to come down and stay with me last Christmas, so I bought a whole salmon and had it done into fillets because they're very hungry. You know, their mother doesn't feed them and she abandons them and everything. And they'd gone into my freezer. This woman had gone into my freezer, and I can hear her now. She said, "Oh, salmon, Mitzi will love that." Mitzi was her kitten. They just left me. They left me lying. They didn't make me a drink. Didn't bring a water bottle. And after that, I had to get the locks changed. And they got themselves inveigled in, and I made them executors of my will and everything. Oh my God! I mean, I'm lucky. I'm lucky I lived this long. I mean, I don't think I'm lucky because the pain is so bad, Mandy. But that's. A couple of weeks ago, I was able to change. Yeah, so where I'm going, here's the pertinent point. So if any of these people call you again, for anyone, you know, I'm using my case here. It may be some interest to you, it may not. It's only taken 7 minutes of our lives to just say, if you've been around the house, because I'm assuming you can't come around on the spot, are the fire exits clear? Because they don't think of these things, you know.
No,
they're going.
That's what my colleagues would do. So I've got Nikki and John who can come out, but unfortunately they can't come until the 11th of October.
Oh God, I won't live that long.
In the morning on the 11th of October for Nikki and John to come out, and they'll make sure that you're safe from a fire safety point of view, and they can talk to you when they come and address any concerns you may have.
Yeah.
And then we can refer, we can comment to our safeguarding team if they feel that, we can help in any way, and refer you to other people who may be able to come and help.
No.
Can I get you booked in on the 11th of October with Nikki and John?
Well, yes, you can book me in, madam. I don't think I will, in any way, shape or form, survive anywhere near that length of time, but hope springs eternal, I suppose, you know. You have to remember, madam, no one likes Jews in Somerset, madam. They would rather a dead Jew than a live one. 100 times out of 100. Even my own GP has known for 2 weeks that I've not been able to take any medicine, and I've not been able to eat anything. There's nothing in the house to eat if I get there. And all they want to do is transfer me to another GP. But you have been very kind with your time and your ears, madam, and
so I'll get you booked in now, and I'm sorry that we can't come any sooner, but what I will do is mention to our safeguarding team, and it could be that we can get in touch with somebody else who can come before then.
That would be... I'm so sorry, madam. Your kindness is going to cause me to embarrass myself, Mandy, I'm afraid. It's been a long 6 weeks. You don't get much, he says, trying to find some humour. You don't get much for 45 years of paying tax in this country, it seems, you know. In another lifetime I will... well, there are no other lifetimes. Let's not live in those fantasies. You've been extraordinarily kind with your time and your politeness and your pleasantness. And you too, madam. May God give you the extra 20 years he has stolen from
John
me.
and Mickey will come and see you on the 11th.
Okay, that's a verbal contract is legally binding. I cannot die until the 11th at least.
Bless you.
The best to you, madam. Be safe and be well. Thank you for your time. Goodbye now.
Bye.